Fox 5 News at 6 starts right now.
Tonight, a 12-year-old is in critical condition after being shot in the abdomen. Cobb County police say the bullet came through the boy's home and struck him. Now, this all happened last night on White Boulevard in Mableton. Fox 5's Alexa Liacco is live with what police know right now. Alexa.
Well, Cobb County police say the boy was standing in his kitchen in the back of the home when a single bullet came through and hit him in the stomach. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, and that is where he still is this evening. Now, police say this happened around 9:30 last night. Right now, there is no information on who the shooter may be. Neighbors say the family has lived on the street for less than a year. They say the bullet went through a glass door or window in the back of the home and it shattered before hitting the 12-year-old. Neighbors say they do hear gunshots in the area frequently, but they feel crime has gotten much worse around here in the last couple years.
I don't know what's going on. Things are getting real bad around here. People just need to, they got to stop what they're doing, because now a kid's life's at stake. That's real bad. I can't stand it.
Anyone with information or who was in this area last night and may have saw something or heard something is asked to call police immediately. Live in Mableton, Alexa Liacco, Fox 5 News.
Frightening for that child and his family. Alexa, thank you. An update tonight on a mysterious and brutal attack along an Atlanta highway. Police tell us the man who was shot in the head and killed while on I-20 is identified as Rodrigo Castillo. The shooting happened just after midnight Friday, not far from Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Officers arrived on scene and found Castillo in the car, which was stopped in the right lane of traffic near the exit. Police say he had been on a date hours before the shooting. They want to talk to the woman he was with. Who killed a young man outside a Gwinnett County bowling alley? That is the question police are working to answer for the family of Ramir Garner. Lilburn police say the 20-year-old was killed last Sunday outside Brunswick Zone bowling alley. Customers found him with several gunshot wounds. Officers tried to revive Garner. He didn't make it.
Good people shouldn't die in vain. He deserves justice. He knows something, hears something. This young man deserves justice.
Police tell us they are still searching for a motive. They are looking for a four-door silver Nissan Sentra that took off south of the bowling alley past Pleasant Hill. DeKalb fire investigators looking into a blaze at a home on McAfee Road. Flames broke out at the home around 1 this afternoon. Fox 5 arrived on scene shortly after the fire was put out. At this time, we do not know what caused that blaze. Tonight, only on Fox 5, police are on the lookout for a high-end thief targeting people at an upscale golf course. And they say he made off with quite the steal. Fox 5's Jacqueline Schultz joining us live outside the Ansley Golf Course, where police say, Jacqueline, they need your help to nab that thief.
Yeah, people who golf here, who come here and live around here say they're very surprised a thief would prey on people who come here, but police say it happened and they are looking for the person who targeted golfers and people who came here. If you take a look at the surveillance video we obtained exclusively from Atlanta police, police need your help to identify this man. As you can see in the video, he browsed around the gift shop. Police say he went into the locker rooms and took a number of American Express cards from two individuals, a Rolex, and then somehow very quickly went on a high-end shopping spree at Best Buy, Apple, True Religion, and Macy's. The victims quickly called police and reported their cards missing and the fraudulent purchases. Now, I'm told at least one of the lockers in this circumstance did not have a lock on it, and neighbors and people around the area say this is just a reminder, no matter where you are, it's important to have a lock on your lockers.
I'll let my friends know that, whether you're going to be going there to just play for some 9 holes or going to shop a little bit, to always lock your stuff up.
You work
no matter
out.
where you are, yeah. I mean, it could either be here at LA Fitness or at the golf club, but there are thieves everywhere.
And we did reach out to the golf club for comment. We haven't heard back from them yet. If you have any idea who the man in that surveillance video could be, you're asked to call Atlanta Police or Crime Stoppers. Reporting live in Northeast Atlanta tonight, Jacqueline Schultz, Fox 5 News.
You have to remain vigilant nowadays. Thank you, Jacqueline. Well, an auction is underway this weekend for items belonging to Tex MacIver. The former attorney was convicted earlier this year of killing his wife Diane. Among the things being auctioned is MacIver's Putnam County farm. MacIver shot his wife in September 2016 while the couple was in an SUV on their way home from vacation. He claims it was an accident. Well, everything on the horse farm belonging to the MacIvers is for sale. Let's take a look at our weather now. This is a live look from our Georgia power camera. We are tracking a few pop-up showers around metro Atlanta. Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Ryan Beasley here with the first check of the forecast. We saw some sunshine today, Ryan.
We did, 2 days in a row. That's got to be some sort of record after this gloomy week. But here's what paints the picture in the moment. Deidre just mentioned a few pop-up showers. There it is on the south side of Lake Oconee. But notice on the north side, you have a mixture of sun and clouds, and that's how it is for the majority of the viewing area, seeing that healthy mix of sun and clouds. So again, we still have an unsettled weather pattern across the southeast with numerous pop-up showers and thunderstorms, but in North Georgia it is much calmer compared to what we had during the week, and temperatures were able to soar near 90 degrees. Metro Atlanta has a few splash and dash showers out towards Stone Mountain, Lawrenceville, Sugar Hill, and even up towards we'll say North Cobb out towards Woodstock on 575. Even Dallas might see a brief shower. There's the heavier rain on the south end of Lake Oconee. Eatonton seeing a splash and dash shower. Here's where I see some of the heavier rain moving through Cleburne County on I-20, Buckhannon and Haralson County, but I don't see any lightning with that, so that is good news. And let me show you the latest forecast model. Again, it keeps things relatively quiet and fading, especially after sunset. So any plans that you have this evening, I really don't think you have to worry about getting washed out or dealing with any torrential rain. So again, your hour-by-hour forecast suggests partly cloudy skies and muggy conditions. I'll let you know how your Sunday looks and the rest of your work week in just a little bit. Deidre?
Sounds good. Thank you, Ryan. Well, more firefighters head to California to help get a handle on the state's many wildfires there. Officials say crews are coming from as far as Australia and New Zealand. Meanwhile, over 40,000 people are still displaced, and there's no telling when they'll get back home. Fox's Jeff Paul has the details.
Red flag warnings are in place in Northern California. Strong winds expected to fan the flames of several wildfires there. Tens of thousands of people still under evacuation orders as the car fire continues to grow. Crews say the blaze is just too unpredictable to let everyone back into their homes. But they have made some progress, meaning select neighborhoods have reopened.
It's hard to celebrate your house making it through the fire when your son's house didn't make it.
Crews are also trying to push back a pair of fires around Mendocino County, the ranch and river fires collectively known as the Mendocino Complex. Together, they make up one of the largest wildfires in California history. Homeowners like Ben Holland know the flames are almost at his doorstep.
This is the asphalt. This is what's falling out of the sky right now. These are full-size oak leaves that have been burnt.
Holland dodged the Pawnee fire earlier this year, so this time around he's staying put until he feels he absolutely must evacuate. Dozens of houses are already gone. More than 10,000 other homes are in harm's way. At a community meeting Friday night, crews warned evacuated residents the fire is coming, while also trying to give them hope.
Being aggressive, we are aggressive. There are times when it wins, and there are times that we win. We will get this. Absolutely. It'll go out.
The causes of the two Mendocino Complex fires have not been determined, but officials say the car fire was started by sparks from a broken down vehicle. In Los Angeles, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
Well, we have some sad news tonight from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The U.S. Army confirms 19-year-old Private Second Class Jeremy Wells, who is from Adairsville, died in a training accident. Private Wells was a member of the 101st Airborne Division. At the time of the accident, he was taking part in weapons training. Lieutenant Colonel Clayton Johnson says the 101st Aviation Brigade lost an incredible member of the Destiny family. Well, the cause of the accident is under investigation. Well, school is starting soon, which calls for a celebration. Clayton County Public Schools hosted a back-to-school bash for their 55,000 students. Students could choose from a number of goodies at the event, including book bags and school supplies. The school band also performed to get everyone in the school spirit. And hey, the fun continued in DeKalb County with 3 back-to-school celebrations in Decatur, Atlanta, and Stone Mountain. Families and students enjoyed live entertainment and refreshments there. The event also provided free health screenings, supplies, and resources for parents. Organizers say they want to make sure their students are prepared so they can excel this school year. He was on board a prison bus when it was overtaken by 2 fellow inmates. Coming up, the now paroled burglar talks to the Fox 5i team about the moments leading up to the murder of 2 guards and the inmates' escape. We now have the final report on the deadliest mass shooting in American history. What the report on the Las Vegas massacre tells us and the big question it leaves unanswered next. And here's Cody with sports.
College football is back. Well, practice at least. And coming up in sports, UGA offensive coordinator Jim Chaney talks about how to use freshman quarterback Justin Fields. That's coming up on Fox 5 News at 6.
1 year after a deadly prison bus escape, we finally hear from someone who saw it all unfold. He was one of 31 inmates who watched 2 other prisoners escape after the murder of 2 Georgia corrections officers. Now, he asked Fox 5i team reporter Randy Travis to call him Ringo and to not show his face, a key witness who believes the 2 accused killers deserve the death penalty.
I heard Roe. He said, I got a long time. I might not ever get out again. He said, if I can make it happen, I'm going to try to escape today.
Talk is cheap, especially in a world of prison bars and steel shackles. But in the space of only a few seconds, Ringo would watch talk become tragedy. The June 2017 murders of Sergeants Chris Monica and Curtis Ballou.
They knew something was going on. You can just feel it in the atmosphere.
A Department of Corrections review blamed the murders on multiple security failures, starting before the sun ever rose on that fateful morning. Ringo boarded the prison bus before dawn, along with 2 inmates with violent histories, Ricky Dubose, who he knew only as Juvie, and Donnie Rowe, who everyone called Whiskey.
Did they have a real plan, or did they just seize an opportunity?
Just seized an opportunity.
He says no one searched the 33 inmates after they boarded, allowing Dubose to smuggle in something, maybe a razor, he thinks, to pop his handcuffs, which were not double locked as policy required. Ringo says Dubose asked him to sit in the front seat as he quietly worked loose the shackles.
He was like, I just don't want no bullcrap in the seat with me. So that told me there that he was serious about trying to do what they had been discussing.
With Dubose sitting behind Monica, who was assigned to monitor the inmates, and Rowe moving up to sit behind Sergeant Ballou, who was driving, the pair was primed to make their move.
So you're hearing everything?
Oh yeah, you hear everything. You hear stuff like that a lot though, and you just don't think it's going to happen. You know, it's never has.
An outside investigation after the murders determined the guards failed to click the padlock in place that secured the main cage door. Ringo says the 2 men noticed immediately, and a few miles down the road from the prison, he says Rowe took a chance.
He actually tests Monica. He opens the door and lets him slam back shut. Monica kind of wakes up for a minute, and he's looking around, and Rowe says, "You all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. You all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Those would be Sergeant Monica's final words.
So 3-4 minutes later, Monica's back with his head down, asleep. And Rowe just gathers up all his chains and everything, opens the door and runs in and hits him upside his head.
From his front row seat, he watched the 2 men struggle, with Monica appearing to get the upper hand. But when Ballou slammed on the brakes, the pair toppled into the stairwell.
Dubose walks up into the compartment up there, and Rowe is able to throw him the gun box, and he just casually opens up the gun box, puts the clip in, loads it, and walks over there to Monica and fires multiple times.
And with Monica now dead, he says Dubose turned the .40 caliber Glock on the remaining officer.
Dubose turns to Sergeant Blue and he tells him, he says, "You open them doors." And Sergeant Blue just looks up at him and he says, "I can't do that." And he shoots him twice.
A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation said it's impossible to tell on the security video whether Ballou said anything before he was shot. Ringo says he watched the pair kick out a window and within seconds steal a car at gunpoint that just happened to be passing by. The remaining inmates sat on that bus in the middle of Highway 16 for nearly a half hour. 2 dead officers inside before someone driving by called authorities. The first to arrive, Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills. Ringo says he forced the bus door open, stepped around the bodies, and addressed the inmates.
We got to find out where they're going. Do y'all have any idea where they're going? We're like, we're just as surprised as you are right this moment. We heard, but we didn't expect.
In fact, no one on the bus even knew the killer's real names. It would take 3 days of frantic searching before the pair turned up in Tennessee, ultimately surrendering without firing a shot. They each face the death penalty. Both have pled not guilty. In the last hearing, prosecutors played a tape of Dubose confessing to the murders.
Were any of y'all pulling for Rowe and Dubose to get away?
I absolutely wasn't. I hope nobody else was. Not everybody is a bad person just because they're in prison.
Expect him to be a key witness should the case ever go to trial. In June, a little more than 1 year after the murders, Ringo made parole. The convicted burglar hopes to never see the inside of a prison again. And on his Greyhound bus ride home from Jackson, he made sure to sit in the very last row.
You think both of those men deserve the death penalty?
Absolutely. And the only reason why I say that is because it was senseless. There was no point in doing what they did and how they did it.
Randy Travis, Fox 5 News.
We may never know what motivated a gunman to open fire from his Las Vegas hotel room and kill 58 innocent people. On Friday, the Clark County, Nevada Sheriff's Office released its final report. It could not determine what motivated Stephen Paddock to go on the murderous rampage last October. It confirmed he acted alone and fired thousands of bullets from a room on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Investigators admit they were frustrated they could not determine the gunman's motive.
Without a manifesto or even a note to answer questions, the totality of the information that has been gathered leaves us to only make an educated guess as to the motives of Stephen Paddock.
Investigators say Stephen Paddock was in deep financial trouble, including gambling and credit card debt. First responders saved a woman's life when she had an allergic reaction at Stone Mountain Park. Tonight, we'll show you the moment she got to say thank you to the people she calls her guardian angels. But first, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets show off their brand new jerseys. Cody has that coming up next in sports.
And it's time to show the world what we're made of.
Yeah, I got a text message from my uncle this morning. He's a Georgia Tech grad, said he's a big fan of these new jacket uniforms. And Georgia Tech Nation buzzing about those new Adidas uniforms that were unveiled last night. They look sharp, and along with the new football locker room, the Jackets are feeling so fresh and so clean this year.
A brand new everything. I feel like we just started from scratch. There's a lot of tradition put into Georgia Tech, over the years, giving us this new Adidas contract. It's about to open up some doors for us, not just, what we do here, but, for the guys to come.
Over in Athens, the Bulldogs held an open practice for their fan day at Sanford Stadium, but even though they let all those eyeballs in to watch practice, video recording was still prohibited. So there you go. Take a look at some of the video the team put out yesterday. Earlier today, the team did allow both the offensive and defensive coordinators to talk. The only time we'll hear from Jim Chaney and Mel Tucker until probably a bowl game. And when it comes to that Bulldog offense, there are a ton of questions about how the team plans to use five-star freshman quarterback Justin Fields.
It's a good question, and we think about it all the time. Justin's ability to run the ball is exceptional. We don't have a vast amount of depth at that position right now. So if you start running quarterbacks, you're putting them in harm's way a little bit more. So you got to be real conscious of that. I don't know that you walk out and say because Justin Fields can run, he is a running quarterback. I think Justin Fields is a fantastic quarterback. He happens to be able to run. So that's a good thing. Designing a playbook directly because he can run, I think it would be distorting from who we want to be as a football team. But it is give us some different things that we can open up in the playbook. It does open some pages to it. So as far as strategy goes, it's another skill set that we have available to us to use at any time we want to.
4 Saturdays from now, we'll have more answers. Both Tech and Georgia getting their season started in. A lot more coming up later in the show. Atlanta United hosting reigning MLS champions Toronto FC, and Terrell Owens doing his own thing this NFL Hall of Fame weekend. Those stories and more coming up in just a bit. Deidre.
Sounds good, Cody. Thank you. A woman says first responders saved her life when she had an allergic reaction at Stone Mountain Park. Coming up, how she was able to thank the people she's calling her guardian angels. They are popping up everywhere, from sidewalks to side streets and even the downtown connector. Well, coming up, a proposed crackdown on these popular scooters in the city of Atlanta. Plus, Ryan's back with another check of our forecast.
That's right, Deidre. We have a few showers on Fox 5 Live Viper, but nothing that's really going to hinder your outdoor plans this evening or tomorrow. But I'll have the latest information coming up after the break.
The Atlanta City Council is considering a crackdown on the popular motorized scooters you may be seeing around town. During a meeting, council members were warned the scooters can be dangerous. Critics have accused riders of going too fast or using them in the wrong areas. One place people say they do not want to encounter scooters is on the sidewalk.
The woman riding it keeps coming at me, staring me down, daring me to get out of her way, which I refused to do. I instead stretched my arms out. She finally slowed down.
If the council approves the plan, people on scooters will be required to ride in the street like bicyclists. A Metro Atlanta woman says she nearly died after a sudden and severe allergic reaction at Stone Mountain Park. But Casey Crawford says she is alive today thanks to some quick thinking and dedicated first responders. Fox 5's Claire Sims was there when Crawford stopped by to thank the people who helped her.
Is that Sean?
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Hugs all around Wednesday as Casey Crawford meets the people she calls her guardian angels, the police and firefighters of Stone Mountain Park. Crawford was at an event at the park July 21st when she says she unknowingly ate seafood, something to which she is extremely allergic. Minutes later, she collapsed.
I immediately started going into respiratory failure and then cardiac arrest.
Corporal Warren Hall was the first on scene. He, along with fellow officers and firefighter EMTs, began compressions and worked on Crawford for 20 minutes until an ambulance could arrive.
From what I was told, it wasn't life-sustaining, so you needed those compressions. Right.
Crawford says she coded more than once and almost died, but after a few days in intensive care, she made a miraculous recovery.
Very, very happy that she's alive. I mean, it's affected all of us here.
Yeah, just to know that she's okay, absolutely. Just to know that she's okay warms our heart.
Crawford says going through this experience has changed her outlook on life and especially her relationship with police officers.
Every time I've dealt with police officers, it's been negative. I've never had anything nice to say. And so for, going through this and, them saving my life just really makes me look at things differently. And I'm just so thankful, so thankful.
Claire Sims, Fox 5 News.
Oh, how heartwarming. It's wonderful they had the opportunity to meet again.
Yes.
Well, turning to our weather now, what a great day overall.
Speaking of being thankful, can we be thankful for the sunshine the last 2 days?
I was so happy to see the sun out today.
It's one of those things where you don't think about it when we have sunshine every day, but when we don't have it for 3 days straight, we're all like, hey, come on. Yeah, exactly. So we do have some showers out there, but not everybody is experiencing it. So let's break down your forecast for you. Take a peek outside our Tanner Medical Center and Carrollton. I think this slices a really good picture here of what we're experiencing. Notice off to the north and west, now it's blocking the sun. We have a pretty good shower there. Not a thunderstorm because I'm not seeing any lightning. And then look at the other, we'll say 3/4 of the screen, sunshine. So that's where we get our 30% chance for rain. Not everyone sees it. It could rain on the street across from your neighborhood, but not at your neighborhood. It's one of those scenarios typical for this time of year. Fox 5 Live Viper showing you the minimal activity, but the biggest storm is out in Cleburne County, and we could see the tops of that thunderstorm outside the lens of our tower cam. Well, with the lack of rain today, temperatures soared near 90 degrees. But the heaviest shower, now a thunderstorm with one bolt of lightning on I-20 in Cleburne County. Buchanan and Haralson County seeing some moderate rain, not much of any lightning there. Cobb County seeing a light to moderate shower, splash and dash situation. Same thing for over parts of DeKalb County, south and east of Stone Mountain, seeing a brief shower there, and even parts of Walton County seeing a little bit of rain near Monroe. Lake Oconee did have a shower over it, but it has progressed off towards the north and east. Again, outside in Henry County and Hampton, Atlanta Motor Speedway, look at that. That is a picture-perfect view for your Saturday evening. So any evening plans, you want to carry the umbrella just in case, but between now and 9 o'clock, that's it for rain chances, because look what the model does after that. Dissipates all of the rain. Temperature-wise, we are going to be warm and muggy. It's going to feel, you're going to feel that tropical air as you step outside the door. Sunday morning, some models are hinting at some morning showers. Whether we see the rain or not, I'm going with a low impact forecast for your Sunday morning plans, and that does include your morning service. But by the lunch hour, keep an eye in the sky, because that's when initiation will happen as far as these storms. And the confidence is growing that we'll see slightly more coverage in storms tomorrow, but comparable to the strength of storms that we're currently tracking on Fox 5 Live Viper. And look at our temperatures back in the mid to upper 80s. So in that aspect, a copy and paste forecast. After sunset on Sunday, we see the storms fade away and head back to school. Yeah, a lot of kids head back to school Monday morning. Dry, but the ride home might have to dodge a few hit or miss showers and thunderstorms. And football practice, the same thing. I think heat safety will be the main concern there, keeping the players and coaches hydrated. So again, tomorrow, today we haven't really seen any high levels of rainfall accumulation. Tomorrow, model is hinting at a couple of locations picking up more than a ½ inch, which means probably up to an inch of rain in the worst case scenario. The feels like temperature, that means when you factor in the humidity, near 100 in LaGrange, 92 in Atlanta, and boy, are we feeling the steamy sunshine at this hour. Again, I'm really not concerned about much of any severe weather with these pop-up storms, but heavy rain would be the biggest impact, and that's even in the very low category. Always have the Fox 5 Storm Team app, so you can use the interactive Fox 5 Live Viper. That really helps you plan. Hey, should we go to dinner now, or should we wait in 30 minutes? Or, hey, I'm in the grocery store, I see it's raining. Should I wait inside, or should I make a run for it? Good tip to have, especially in this scenario. Again, Monday's forecast, not a washout, high near 90 as the kids head back to school. And then in your Fox 5 Storm Team AccuWeather forecast, typical for this time of year with showers and thunderstorm each and every afternoon. One thing I am seeing is an approaching cold front on Wednesday, and then it will stall out, and that means slightly higher rain chances, but overall typical for August. Deidre?
I wouldn't mind a little bit of a cool down here and there.
That would be nice.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Well, the Atlanta Hawks providing more than 900 new jobs for the newly renovated Phillips Arena. And these jobs are hiring in guest and food services, security, and housekeeping. Well, pre-selected applicants were taken on a tour of the arena to educate them on changes within the building. Phillips Arena officials say they are determined to make the employee experience as great as the guest experience.
When you look at the arena, it's going to be new, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be exciting, but we realize you have to touch every aspect of the experience. So I think it's something that's really awesome. We're investing a lot in our people.
Organizers say they'll continue to host these hiring events over the next few months. Well, taking out cash from a Chase Bank ATM just got faster and easier. The company is adding technology in 16,000 branches across the nation that will let you get money without using your debit card. Instead, you'll be able to get cash with your smartphone's mobile wallet. Other banks, such as Bank of America and Wells Fargo, have also added this feature at select locations. Also ahead, it is an unusual high-speed chase. Coming up, video of people trying to outrun police using jet skis. It's a big change that some fear could put kids in danger. We'll tell you what's different this school year about Georgia's school bus stop arm law next.
If you have an Amazon Alexa-enabled device in your home, ask her to enable the Fox 5 Atlanta skill so you can get local updates anytime straight from Fox 5.
As hundreds of thousands of students head back to school, here's a story you need to know about. There is a new law in Georgia when it comes to school buses and when drivers are required to stop for them. It's a bit confusing, but not everyone is happy about the law. As Sky Fox Traffic's Katie Beasley breaks down the new rules.
Every year, we remind drivers about the stop arm law in Georgia. This year, though, there's a small change in the law that may make it more confusing for drivers and some say less safe for students. House Bill 978 was a bill to help set up automated speed traps in school zones, but in one paragraph, it also amended the law for drivers passing school buses. Before, only a grass or concrete median meant drivers heading in the opposite direction didn't have to stop. Now, the language has changed to say if there's a turn lane present when a bus is loading or unloading, that opposite traffic no longer has to stop. Local school districts and leaders with the Georgia Association of Pupil Transportation are worried this change will create confusion, more wrecks, legal challenges, and potentially more dangerous bus stops. Authors of the bill have said that wasn't their intention.
They were starting to get the drill down. Everybody kind of knew when you're supposed to stop and not stop. Now that water's muddied some. And our largest concern is when you don't have to stop, if that's ambiguous, that endangers the lives of students.
Now, buses in Georgia aren't routed for stops where students have to cross multiple lanes of a highway with a turn lane, but that doesn't mean the students don't find ways to cross those highways after the bus is gone. Some transportation officials say the law before was easier for many drivers to understand. A physical, concrete or grass median meant you didn't have to stop. Back in April, the Georgia Association of Pupil Transportation even sent a letter to Governor Nathan Deal asking him not to sign this bill into law and saying it would create unsafe bus stops in our state. It was signed anyway and went into effect on July 1st.
There's some great points in the bill. There's some good things within that bill. So I assume, went ahead and signed the bill. So now we'll be urging our legislators to clean that language back up during the next session.
The fine for passing a stopped school bus was also changed in the new law. Instead of a threatening $1,000 fine for multiple offenses, the punishment is now capped at $250 instead. So again, what you need to know here, a recap. If there's a concrete or grass median or now a turn lane, drivers traveling in the opposite direction do not have to stop for those buses that are loading and unloading. But it's never a bad idea to slow down, though, around that precious cargo.
Wade Lee of Atlanta says for years he struggled with crippling depression and manic highs. But at 40, he finally found help and hope. The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin has his story coming up. And it's a new addition to an iconic landmark in Seattle, Washington. The new and slightly scary views it's giving visitors. Officials say they have found a 12-year-old girl who went missing from Reagan National Airport on Thursday after calling it a probable abduction. Well, Fox's Mike Emanuel has the latest from Washington.
She vanished without a trace. 12-year-old Jinjing Ma was visiting the U.S. from China with a tour group and disappeared from Reagan National Airport here in the D.C. metro area on Thursday after telling her friend she was going to the bathroom. But now police and federal officials are breathing a sigh of relief. Jinjing has been located safe and sound in the custody of her parents, some 250 miles north in Queens, New York. The head of the Metro D.C. Airport Police is praising the work of multiple agencies, including the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and also thanking the public for calling in hundreds of tips in just a 24-hour period, saying, quote, "This is a great example of the work that can be accomplished when the community and law enforcement come together to achieve a common goal." Jinjing apparently changed her clothes after leaving the tour group. She was then seen departing the airport with an Asian woman and later spotted in a car driven by an Asian man. Officials also say Jinjing was approached by an unidentified couple while the tour group was sightseeing in New York City, and they believe that incident is connected to her disappearance, but it's still not clear if the couple from New York was the same she left the airport with, or if that man and woman are her parents. The FBI is now leading the investigation into what transpired. They're still interviewing possible witnesses and other members of Jinjing's tour group. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
It was something out of a James Bond movie when London police were on a high-speed chase along a famous river. Well, the chase was caught on camera as the 4 jet skiers are caught speeding on River Thames Friday. Police say the Marine units caught up to the jet skiers and were able to make them change course. The chase was called off due to safety reasons. And take a look at this. It is a dangerous prank that could have caused some serious injuries. Well, someone threw fireworks into an outdoor patio at a lounge in Asheville, North Carolina. This happened around 1:30 Wednesday morning. As the fireworks went off, people scrambled to get out of the way. Police say no one was injured. Well, we all go through daily ups and downs, but mood swings controlled Wade Lee's life. Well, one day, the Atlanta native would be on top of the world. The next, he couldn't get out of bed. Well, it took 40 years and an ultimatum from his partner for Lee to get help. He found it at Skyland Trail, a mental health facility where he is now a peer counselor. The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin has his story.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
8 years ago, Wade Lee could never have imagined he would be sitting here, sober, at peace, leading a support group. Because for 40 years, Lee says his life was chaos.
Most of my 20s and 30s were spent in active addiction.
The 48-year-old has bipolar disorder, so he'd swing from crippling depression to feeling like he could do anything. And on manic days,
I would not sleep. I would usually hit the gym at least twice a day if I wasn't working. I had all kinds of projects at home. I started home improvement projects.
To calm his mind,
I would drink myself into a stupor by the end of the night.
On bad days, Lee wouldn't show up for work or to practice with his band.
And eventually we broke up because of it. I was a total flake. And in the middle of recording an album, I just didn't show up.
By 2010, Lee says his partner Chris couldn't take it anymore.
He gave me a choice to either find help or we were done. And so he researched online and found Skyland.
And here at Skyland Trail, he was finally diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
We were going through the list of the symptoms and everything, and I was like, my God, that's my life right there. Like, it explains so much.
Lee started taking medication to stabilize his mood and an antidepressant.
For the first time in a long time, I was like actually happy and sober and steady.
And today, Wade Lee is a peer counselor here at Skyland Trail, leading the kind of group that once helped him.
Yeah, this keeps me sober.
And Skyland alum and fellow group leader Christina Matrison says Wade gives new clients hope.
He's very easy to like, and I think one of the big reasons is, especially for clients, is because of how genuine he is, how honest he is.
After 40 years of searching for his purpose, Wade Lee has found it.
I think just being here and role modeling the fact that recovery is possible and that people can get better and that you can be happy.
Beth Galvin, Fox 5 News.
A Florida mother is thankful tonight for the quick and life-saving actions of 2 police officers. Anna Jaramillo de Graham says she and her kids were having lunch at a mall when her young daughter started choking. Well, she screamed for help while hitting the baby's back to get that food out. That is when 2 officers rushed over.
Officer Ayala stepped in. I handed her to him. He sat down and so quickly started performing what he needed to do to make sure she was okay. They're our heroes. They are the best angels that we could have had that day at the mall.
While the piece of food was removed, the little girl was able to breathe again and is doing just fine. Well, Seattle's iconic Space Needle introduces a new addition best suited for thrill seekers. The top of the Space Needle's observation deck now features a complete glass floor which rotates. The addition includes a complete 360-degree view of the city, as well as views 50 stories down. Powered by 12 different motors, this is the world's first revolving glass floor. The Space Needle is currently undergoing a $100 million renovation. Next in sports, Atlanta United back in action and giving the home fans plenty to cheer for. Could they hold on for the win? Cody has the highlights coming up.
Suited up for the MLS All-Star game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They were back in action at the Benz today, taking on reigning MLS champions Toronto FC. Joseph Martinez, he was the MVP of the MLS All-Star game, had an incredible chance here in the first half, but saved by the Toronto goalkeeper. No score until very late in the first half. Stoppage time, Sebastian Giovinco with the goal for Toronto. They take a 1-0 lead into halftime. And then 5 minutes into the second half, action in the penalty box. A penalty called on the Toronto goalkeeper. They said he took down Joseph Martinez, looked at it on video and said, yes, a penalty kick for Atlanta United. 5 stripes. Well, they turn to Joseph and he buries it. It would be all square at 1-1. Then 67th minute, Well, Atlanta United at it again. They cross into who else? Joseph Martinez gets ahead to it, puts Atlanta United up 2-1. That one breaks the record for the most goals in the first 2 seasons in the MLS. 45 goals for Joseph Martinez. But Toronto, you know what? They're not very high in the standings this year, but they're a very dangerous team. They prove it late in this match. Stoppage time in the second half. Toussaint Ricketts gets a foot to it and scores, ties the game at 2, and that's how it would end. 2 points slip away. Atlanta United's home struggles are back.
It's very disappointing. We give up 2 goals at the worst time of each half, and disappointing because outside of those 2 moments, we played a fantastic game today.
It's NFL Hall of Fame weekend. Last night, inductees got their gold jackets in Canton. Tonight will be the official induction ceremony, but one of the 8 inductees decided to do his own thing. Terrell Owens, not in Canton, but just up 75 from here in Chattanooga. Back to his old college to accept the honor. Our Justin Felder was with T.O. too.
About 600 miles from Canton, Ohio, but a mere 90 minutes from Canton, Georgia, the Pro Football Hall of Fame makes a rare detour to Chattanooga. Wide receiver Terrell Owens gave his Pro Football Hall of Fame induction speech at his alma mater, UT Chattanooga, instead of Canton, Ohio, on Saturday. He was at times emotional.
They say behind every great man is a great woman. Well, I had 2. My mama and my grandmama.
He also explained he's here because he didn't feel the writers who vote on the Hall of Fame had the spirit of the Hall in mind when they left him out in past years. We also got to ask T.O. about Julio Jones, the Falcons wide receiver. They spent a lot of time together this summer and got pretty close.
They get him involved in the offense early and often and utilize his abilities. Again, like I said, Ryan, I guarantee you, he wouldn't be half the quarterback he is without Julio.
People talk this and talk that about him and things, but I got to know him as a person, and he's a hard worker.
It was unfortunate that people took negative shots at him or me because we were hanging out as if I was a bad or negative influence on him. But again, this is where over the years people have bought into a perception that's not actually true.
Advice from a Hall of Famer could end up being a very good thing for Jones, even one who took an unconventional path to football immortality. In Chattanooga, I'm Justin Felder, Fox 5 Sports.
Thanks, Justin. Braves and Mets getting started in a few minutes up in Flushing, New York. Tonight will be the Braves' debut for pitcher Kevin Gausman. The Braves got him in a trade with the Orioles earlier this week. Braves still a half game back of the Phillies, but have won 5 straight. And we'll bring you highlights of the Braves and Mets, probably more from T.O. and other NFL Hall of Fame speeches tonight. But we've got a little boxing on before Fox 5 News at 10. So we'll have that on. We'll be on right after that.
And you brought it to our attention. It's one of our favorite meteorologists' birthdays.
Yeah, it's Jeff's birthday today, so happy birthday to him. That's why I'm filling in tonight.
And Cody, you said what?
I'm sure Jeff is out watching on his night off.
We won't hold it against
him.
Right
now watching us. We appreciate it.
Someone who knows him is watching, so just tell him we wished him a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us. Thank you for joining us for Fox 5 News at 6. You can stay connected to Fox 5 around the clock by liking our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page, following us on Twitter at Fox 5 Atlanta, and subscribing to our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel. Join us tonight for Fox 5 News at 10 and the News Edge at 11. See you then.